Okay, so we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing today. So let's look at some examples, multiplying and dividing scientific notation. So when we are multiplying numbers with scientific notation, we're going to be using both the multiplying rules and then our multiplying exponent rules, because we got numbers with exponents here. So if you remember, numbers with the same base with exponents, you add the exponents. So 10 to the 7th times 10 to the 4th is going to become 7 plus 4, which is 11, right? I'm going to get 10 to the 11th after I multiply them. And then the numbers in front, I would just multiply. So 4.53 times 2.8 is going to become 12.684. Okay? So that gives me the number that these two would combine to make, but I'm not quite done because this is not in scientific notation, and I need it in scientific notation. So to put this in scientific notation, the problem is this number is greater than 10. So I've got to take a 10 away from this spot by moving the decimal and put it over here. Okay, so when I take this 10 away and it becomes 1.2684, that's now going to multiply. The 10 is going to go here in the exponent and become 10 to the 12th power. And that is that in scientific notation. Now, it also wants it in standard form. So to bring it back out, I'm going to move the decimal 12 spots, make it a big number because it's a positive exponent. So it would be 1, let's see, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's that number in standard form. Okay? So those are your two answers right there. Okay, let's look at another example. So this is another one that's multiplying. Now, it just wants the answer in scientific notation. Doesn't mean I have to multiply it through in scientific notation. I can convert this to standard form and then multiply. Since this is already in standard form, let's try that. So if I convert this to standard form, it's a negative exponent, which means the decimal is going to make it a small number, so it's going to go to the left one, become 0.2. So this is the same as saying 0.2 times 982,000. So 0.2 times 982,000 is going to be 196,400. So that becomes 196,400. So there's one of my answers. That's the answer in standard form. Now I need to write that in scientific notation. So that means I need to get the number down to a number greater than 1 and less than 10. So the decimals right here are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots over, making it 1.964. And since I went 5 spots over, it's going to become 10 to the 5th power. And since it is a big number, it's going to stay positive. Okay, and that's basically all you're doing when you are multiplying. Okay, again, the number in front, and then you add the exponent. So for example here, we got 9 times 4, which is 36, right? So 36, and then negative 2 plus 2 is going to become 0. Okay, so that makes you think, oh, it's just 36, right? Well, not quite, because I still need to put this in standard formation. I mean, that is going to be the number in standard form, but I need to put it in scientific notation, sorry. Scientific notation, because this number right here has to be greater than 1 or less than 10. So it's 36, that's greater than 10, right? So I need to move the decimal to the left one, taking that 10 away, I need to move it to this exponent over here. So become 3.6, and then times become a 1, because 0 plus 1 is 1, so it'll be 10 to the 1 power. That's it in scientific notation, and then it'll just be 36 in standard formation. Okay? Now, let's try doing dividing too. So let's look over here at doing some dividing problems. So again, similar idea with dividing. You're going to have, using your exponent rules, you're going to subtract the top from the bottom, right? And then you just divide the numbers themselves, okay? So for example, 4 minus 6 is going to be negative 2, so I'm going to have 10 to the negative 2 power. And then 5.51 divided by 7.06 is going to be 0.78. So 0.7804, we're just going to take the first 4. So 0.7804. So 0.7804 times 10 to the negative 2. Now, again, this doesn't work because this needs to be greater than 1. So this is less than 1, so I need to move this over 1, which basically means I'm going to be giving it a 10 from this side to this side. So it's going to be taking a 10 away. So I'll be subtracting a 10 from this exponent to make this work. So 7.804 times 10 minusing 1 from it would be a negative 3. That would be that number in scientific notation. Now to put it in standard form, you just be moving the decimal back over 2 more spots, so it would be 0.007804. And those would be your 2 answers there. Let's look at another example of this. So let's do this one right here. Again, exponents you're going to subtract, so 2 minus a negative 5 is going to be a positive 7, so I got 10 to the 7th power. And then I take the numbers and divide them, so 9.3 divided by 8.74 gives me 1.064. So 1.064 times 10 to the 7th. Is that as simplified as it gets? Yeah, that's greater than 1. That's, yeah. So don't need to do anything to, like over here, where I had to move 10s around. But I do have to write it in standard form, so I'm going to have to be adding 7 spots to the decimal. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's your number in standard form. There's your 2 answers. Okay? Making sense so far, hopefully? Let's do one more example. Let's do one where it's not in scientific notation. So again, I don't have to have this in scientific notation when I divide. If it's easier, you can put it in standard form and then convert it after the fact. So for example, 3 times 10 to the 5th, we'll be adding 5 zeros to it, so I can think of it as 70,000 over 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 70,000 divided by 300,000. Right? Did I do that right? Yeah. So 4 zeros, 5 zeros. Okay. So then I would just do 70,000 divided by 300,000. Okay? And I get 0.23 repeating. So 0.23 is the answer I get, but again, I want this in scientific notation. So to put it in scientific notation, I move the 10 spot back 1, and it becomes 2.3, and then since it's a small number, it's going to be 10 to the negative 1 power. And then again, it was just 0.23. So there's your 2 answers right there. And that's basically all you're doing for multiply and divide.